Hi everyone, the Bad Raven here. We decided to do another review today, and this review is kind of a dual review of two different movies, but I have to put them together for a reason. I tell you a lot about my movie experiences and stuff that's happened through my life with certain movies at certain times in my life. And the 80s was a big part of that, and I've done 80s movie reviews of different movies, but these two stand apart because I always talk about the VHS days when I first got introduced to a lot of movies I had seen previews of on television, because we didn't get to go to the movies all the time, especially some of these were rated R, not both, but one of them is rated R. And I was young too, and I probably couldn't have seen one of them because it was a scary movie. But the two movies that I'm going to talk about that I kind of saw together at a time in my life that really, stuck in my brain, and I really enjoyed them because I watched them as a pair, I guess. Two totally different movies, but still, nonetheless, they were very good movies. I'll keep from holding you into suspense here, but one of them was Streets of Fire, and the other one is American Werewolf in London. Two totally opposite movies. You can say, how did you end up, putting these two together? Well, the story goes, and there's always a story with me, but the story goes, my sister Carolyn and my brother-in-law Lloyd Smith, they were newly married, and they lived on campus at a college near me here called Union College, in the married people's dorm, and it's a little small little place. But besides that, I like to hang around them, or maybe they probably didn't like to hang around me, but I like to hang around them, and we would watch movies. I told you that we rented the big suitcase style VHS machines, and we would get a bunch of movies on the weekend and watch them. Well, they were newly married, and they invited me over to their Union College little apartment, and they had got some movies, and these are the two I remember. Now, they might have had more there, I don't know. These two stuck out of my head as ones I really liked, and I think one of them I watched by myself completely. They got tired and went to bed, and I was stuck up in the middle of the night and decided to watch, I think it might have been the scariest one last. But anyway, that was the setup for when I got to watch these two movies out of the blues. We go to the video store for young people. That's a place you went to actually physically go and pick out movies. Nowadays you do it on your phone, everything in the world. But we had to go and actually go to a store, a video store, and look for movies. Well, we found these movies, and we, like I said, I don't know if Lloyd had watched either one of these. He might have watched the American Werewolf in London when he was in college. I'm not for sure, but I didn't know, just what previews I probably saw of that one. I didn't know anything about Streets of Fire. But nonetheless, we picked those out, and I stayed with them that night in their apartment, and I watched these movies on VHS. So I'll talk about each one of them individually. I guess I'll talk about Streets of Fire first. And if you notice, the Streets of Fire movie here is in HD DVD. The back of it. I don't know if you can see it. I got it probably close up on my face. But this movie, Streets of Fire, I told you how I like Grease, the movie Grease. It's a musical type thing, but this one that is like a musical, but it's about a singer, Diane Lane. She's in a group, like a grunge group, I guess, and it's set in a really Detroit type area. I don't think it's a Detroit city of any sort. It might be in a different universe. I don't know, but it's set in a kind of a gritty place, and she's in a this rock band, and she sings. I'm pretty sure she sings her own songs in this movie. There may be a few that she probably lip syncs, but I think she done some of her singing in this one. But anyway, the guy character in this movie is Michael Perry, I think it's pronounced Peare, and of course the bad guy is Willem Dafoe. And also in this one, Rick Moranis is in it. Let me get my little paper here. It tells me who directed all this and stuff. It was directed by Walter Hill, and it was co-written by him and Larry Gross. It came out in 1984, and it was company Universal. Rick Moranis was in it, and he played Billy Fish. Diane Lane was in it. She played Ellen Aim. Michael Perry played it, and he's Tom Cody. And Amy Madigan was in it, and she played McCoy. She was kind of like, Amy Madigan was kind of like a soldier type, wore the fatigues and stuff like that. She was kind of a tomboyish character that kind of hang around Michael Perry in it. And the movie itself, it's got a lot of good music in it. I don't know if everybody's heard the music from it. You need to listen to the soundtrack. I liked a lot of songs on it, especially the last song in the movie called Tonight Is What It Means to Be Young. It was really stuck out in my mind. And there was other songs. I Can Dream About Her was sung by a group that was like lip singing in the movie, but it was like when they did a whole big stage playing, there was another group of performers, and they sang I Can Dream About Her or whatever, and I think it's the name of it, and it was really a really good song too. Plus there's other ones in it too. But it was the acting, the Michael Perry, he's more just a straightforward type actor, just what comes out of his mouth, it's pretty well like there. And Diane Lane is a great actress, of course, I'm not saying Michael Perry ain't either, but I mean, he's just, all of his movies, I've seen him and he's like the same type of person. And I don't know if I said who William Dafoe played. He played Raven Shaddock, I think, Raven, whatever. William Dafoe's a great actor. He's a greaser type, learns with a gang in the movie, and they, for some reason, he takes Raven, William Dafoe's character, takes a liking to the Ellen character by Diane Lane and kidnaps her, and her old boyfriend, Michael Perry, Tom Cody, is sent after to, rescue her, and that's the premise of the story. And of course, it's set, it's called a rock and roll fable, so that's why they got the rock and roll music and stuff. And Rick Moranis is their like manager, and I don't care for much of his acting in this one. He's just over the top, and some of the stuff he says, I guess the way they word it doesn't sound believable to me. But he's functional in this part. And the reason I got it on the HD DVD, I don't think I've ever owned it on any other format. I'm not for sure I owned it on VHS at any time. I don't have it now, VHS, and I don't have the DVD. But when HD DVD came out, when they did the Blu-ray wars, the Blu-ray and for the HD content, this one was released on this format. I don't think it might not have been on Blu-ray at the time. I know it's on Blu-ray now. I need to upgrade eventually. But I bought it, and because of, I wanted to see it in high def, of course. And it does have a stunning picture for HD DVD, and this, the music sounds really great and everything. But I just remember watching it at my sister's apartment and brother-in-law's, and I don't know. I mean, it's just stuck in my head, and I just really enjoy this movie. I don't know what to say about it. It's some of those movies you just have a guilty pleasure for. And I just really liked it. Like I said, I like music in my movies. And it has a lot of good original music in it. Not like they play any other types of music from the past that they create their own for this movie. And for what it is, it's a very good movie. So that is Streets of Fire. All right, moving on. Now this one, you know I'm a horror fan. And I love horror film. This is, of course, American Werewolf in London, I just told you about. And I don't own this on Blu-ray either yet. I need to upgrade this badly. But this movie, of course, was directed by John Landis and written by John Landis. And it stars David Nadian. Let me get my notes. David Nadian. He plays David Kessler. He's got Griffin Dunn in it. He plays Jack Goodman. Jenny Agutter, Nurse Alex Price. And that's all I've got on my list. It came out in 1981, of course, and August 21st of 1981. And it is a werewolf-loving person's dream movie. It's got, comedy in it too, which would, black comedy, I guess you could say. And because of his friend, if you watch the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. I don't want to give it all away, but his friend definitely brings some black humor to it. And it's set in London, England, of course. And the special effects on this are totally, I'm not going to say that A word, because I say it all the time in my reviews. Don't want to say awesome, that is. But the special effects are the greatest special effects for werewolf movies I've seen. And that's saying a lot for practical effects. CGI nowhere in this movie. These are practical effects. I'm pretty sure, I was trying to see if it's Stan Winston that done these or not. I'll check it out and I'll post it right here who did the special effects in this. I should know it. I think it's Stan Winston. But this movie caught me off guard because I was probably watching this one by myself. They probably got bored and went to bed. And I just remember watching this movie and just been riveted to the screen and wanting to find out about what happened and what caused them to be a werewolf. And I was very, very amazed by this movie. It still holds a great place in my heart because it's such a, it's such a really complete horror film. To me, I like a little humor in my movies. Not necessarily all the time, but when they can sprinkle it in there and it doesn't take you away from the movie, I like it. But it's got a great changing scene from him turning into werewolf, like I said, and it's very practical. The effects are very practical and they're very believable. And it does have some freaky scenes with the werewolf running around. It's actually on the screen with the actors and done very, very good. I could watch this movie over and over again. It's one of my favorite werewolf movies out there. I have a lot of werewolf movies out there that I like, but this one is one of my favorites, if not the favorite movie of werewolves and story. It doesn't have to be a werewolf movie because it's got a great story, great cast, great direction. If you haven't watched this, definitely watch it. But like I said, it was part of the combo deal when we had the VHSs, and it's just weird how some movies can be put together and you just think of them as a group, even though they have totally nothing to do with each other. But it's how I watched them, how I enjoyed them, and that's what movie experiences are. People go to the movies and have a great experience. I didn't get to go to the movies and watch these. I was too young, to even see this movie at the time. So I couldn't have got to see it anyway. And movie theaters were not like on my doorstep. And if we did have movie theaters, they had, take a long time for new releases to get there. So, but movies, they come back to the way you think about them, the way you remember where you were at when you watched them, what happened. Like I said, I was at my sister's apartment, sister-in-law, and I always remember that. I always remember sitting there and let's go. We went to the movie. Went to the video store and picked them out, like I said, and came home. And I remember all of that. I even remember where their apartment was at the Union College. It's just stories like that I love to convey these kind of stories to you. That's what my channel is about. I do some straightforward reviews, but I like to put it in a context way it affected me, where I was at, what I was thinking at the time, and that's how I want my reviews to be known. You might say, well, you don't go into depth with these reviews like most reviewers. Well, I don't want to give away the whole thing on most of them. Sometimes I do on mine, but sometimes I don't. I want you to find them out, seek them out, and to have your experience with them. I mean, these are both are really good movies. I mean, you may not like Streets of Fire, you may not like this one, but I mean, I love these two. I mean, and they'll always be right there on top of my shelf and ready to be dropped into the the machine. Andrew's not watched this one yet. I don't know why I haven't introduced him to it. And as far as the Streets of Fire, he probably wouldn't get into it like I did at the time. I didn't know I was going to get into it at the time. Just one of those situations, right time, right place, good movie, and it all came together. But like I said, I love these movies, and I hope you do check them out sometime. And please like and subscribe, and a comment. Give me a comment on anything about these movies. Have you watched either one of these movies? Do you hate these movies? Do you not want to even talk about them? Just say, I don't like these movies, Bad Raven, whatever. But, just give me a comment. Give me something on what you thought about these two, and your experience with them, or any other movie that you want to talk about. I'll be glad to talk about anything you want to. But I always remember, the Bad Raven is your friend. The Bad Raven's constantly out there trying to think of new ideals for the channel. If you have any ideas, leave them in the comment. Any ideas for the channel, leave them in the comment. I'll be glad to look them over and comment, respond back to you. And remember that every view helps this channel that you can do. And if you tell anybody about the channel and subscribe, that'd be great. But I'll let you go. It's probably running long, the video is. And I appreciate you watching, and goodbye.